Imagine building a city with no old roads, no aging systems, and no legacy problems. It sounds like science fiction, right? Well, around the world, countries are doing exactly that. They're spending hundreds of billions, even trillions, of dollars to build entirely new cities from the ground up, hoping to reshape how millions of people will live. Supporters hail them as the blueprint for our urban future. Critics dismiss them as wildly expensive and risky experiments. Today we're taking a reality check on one of the biggest gambles in modern history. Why are we building new cities from nothing, and will it actually work? Most of the world's major cities, London, New York, Tokyo, were built centuries ago. Their infrastructure was never designed for today's massive populations, modern technology, or the growing challenges of climate change. Traffic congestion, choking pollution, chronic housing shortages, and crumbling public services are becoming universal problems. For some nations, patching up these old cities is no longer a viable option. Instead, they're posing a radical question. What if we could just start over? Let us travel to the deserts of Saudi Arabia to see one of the most ambitious and controversial examples. Here, the country is constructing NEOM, a futuristic mega-region project with a staggering price tag of over $500 billion. NEOM is envisioned as a city that runs entirely on renewable energy, is managed by advanced artificial intelligence, and features fully automated transportation. Its most talked about feature is The Line, a proposed linear city stretching 170 kilometers, designed without traditional roads or cars. The idea is to prioritize human movement and nature, creating a model of unparalleled efficiency and sustainability. The scale is breathtaking, but the technological, financial, and logistical challenges are just as monumental. Can a city really exist as a straight line in the middle of a desert? But Saudi Arabia isn't alone in this endeavor. Egypt is deep into construction on a brand new administrative capital in the desert east of Cairo. The goal is to relieve the overwhelming pressure on one of the world's most congested megacities, moving government functions and millions of residents to a meticulously planned, modern urban center. The new capital promises green spaces, smart infrastructure, and a higher quality of life. Meanwhile, Indonesia is undertaking one of the most dramatic moves of all. It's relocating its entire capital from Jakarta, a city sinking into the sea and plagued by gridlock, to a new, purpose-built city named Nusantara on the island of Borneo. This isn't just about escaping Jakarta's problems. It's a strategic move to shift the country's economic and political center of gravity, with a vision for a green, smart, and sustainable forest city. South Korea, a global leader in technology, has already pioneered this path with cities like Songdo. Built on reclaimed land, Songdo was designed from day one as a smart city where technology is embedded into every aspect of life. From automated waste disposal systems that suck trash directly from homes to sensors that manage traffic and energy use, it's a living laboratory for the future of urban tech. All these diverse projects share a common thread: the belief that the cities of the future cannot be built like the cities of the past. They must be planned from the very beginning to be sustainable, efficient, and technologically integrated. Proponents argue that only by starting with a blank slate can we truly tackle climate change, create seamless transportation networks, and design communities that prioritize human well-being over the dominance of the automobile. They see these new cities as essential sandboxes for innovation, where we can test ideas that would be impossible to implement in established urban areas. However, not everyone is convinced. A chorus of critics raises serious concerns. First and foremost is the astronomical cost. Spending hundreds of billions of dollars on a single project is a massive gamble, especially when those funds could be used to improve existing cities where the majority of people still live. Will these new cities deliver a return on that investment, or will they become financial black holes? Then there are the environmental questions. Building a city from scratch, especially in sensitive ecosystems like a desert or a rainforest, has a significant environmental footprint. Clearing land, sourcing materials, and constructing massive infrastructure can cause irreversible damage, regardless of how green the final city claims to be. The promise of sustainability often clashes with the reality of construction. Perhaps the biggest challenge, though, is the human element. History is littered with examples of planned cities that failed to flourish. From Brazil's Brasilia to Malaysia's Putrajaya, many purpose-built capitals have been criticized for feeling sterile, lacking soul, and struggling to attract a vibrant, diverse population. Building the physical shell of a city is one thing. Creating a community, a culture, and a place where people genuinely want to live, work, and connect is another challenge entirely. Can you truly engineer a sense of belonging? The ultimate question remains unanswered. Are these futuristic cities the solutions to our urban crises, or are they just fantastically expensive distractions? Will they become thriving hubs of innovation and sustainable living? Or will they end up as ghost towns, modern-day ruins that serve as monuments to hubris? Building new cities from scratch represents both the peak of human ambition and the height of risk. If successful, these projects could truly redefine urban life for the next century, providing a model for a world facing unprecedented challenges. They could show us how to live more sustainably, more efficiently, and more connectedly. But if they fail, they will be remembered as some of the costliest and most misguided experiments in history. Either way, the fact that these projects are even happening shows just how seriously nations are rethinking the very nature of the city. The pressure on our old urban centers is reaching a breaking point, and the search for an alternative is on. Whether the answer lies in starting over or in fixing what we already have is the great debate of our time. This is the Reality Check. Thanks for watching, and if you found this exploration of future cities fascinating, be sure to subscribe for more deep dives into the world of tomorrow.